Ladies and gentlemen, the Ilkan brothers are back, ripping a main amount of dropshipping and at the same time as well making crazy YouTube videos. High five, bro. All right, let's get it. So now we have an insane case study, $475,000 in a single month last February with one of our stores. And today I finally got to have my brother again in here, dropping some insane value. I always ask him for these YouTube videos. He never has time because he's too very busy, but now he's gonna drop everything. And if you guys don't believe us, of course, again, you guys know us, Ecom Legend in the building, you know, 475K refresh again, boom. And yeah, we're still running up this store. You can see in here 49 live visitors. And I'm gonna be asking my brother a bunch of questions in here. He's gonna drop everything. And like I, of course, always give immense amount of value. I love doing it. And my brother also has a take on it that is going to help a lot of you a lot. So if you guys don't know me yet, please introduce yourself, bro.
I'm Fatih, the business partner of Farouk. You've seen me many times in other videos. You know the last video we made, on our last case study, we showed 0 to 93K a day within 20 days on our Big 5 store. And this is actually one of the Big 5 stores as well, where we did 475K in last month, February. And we're gonna show you everything. I would highly advise you stick around, watch how we do it, because you don't wanna miss out any single second of this video.
Exactly, man. So we're gonna be talking about what we're selling, how we found these products, our secret market research method, our payment processing, our backend, everything. And this video is gonna be interesting for beginners, intermediates, and advanced. It's gonna be a huge video. People are gonna be saying like, why are we dropping all of this for free? But
why? All for free.
We just like to make all these gurus mad. That's how we do it, right? So anyway, so let's first start. I'm gonna ask you, bro, so what are we actually selling? Tell them, what type of dropshipping are we doing?
We're selling fashion. As you all know, fashion is the way to go on Facebook ads, and all the revenue we do is 100% Facebook ads. Of course, we have email in it, we have after sale in it, we have a bunch of other upsell tools which will boost our revenues outside the ad revenues we're making through Meta. But Meta is the way to go for fashion. Why? It simply clicks better and converts better compared to any other niches. So this is the way to go. And besides that, you can diversify so much in a general fashion dropshipping store, which is, there are no limits. With fashion, general dropshipping, you can test as much as you want. There won't be any limit.
So like how many products a day are we testing right now at our stores?
Per store, we are testing 10 products per day right now.
Why 10? Like what's the reason why?
Yeah, it depends. Like sometimes we go for 10 products per day if it's a one product page, but we have some stores. For example, on this store, what we do, we test 7 products per day. I think we're on 7 right now, somewhere around 7, yeah. 7, and the rest are collection ads. You may be thinking like, hey Fatih, what do you mean with collection ads? Yeah. So we have two sides.
Bro, let's get to like later in the video, bro. Chill. We're gonna first talk, you know, he's dropping too much sauce. Wait, chill. You know, we're gonna first talk about product research before we go into the collection pages. But hey, stay tuned. We're gonna talk about collection pages also. But no, like, don't worry. I'm not gonna be how do you say it, like gatekeep all this information, but we have to go step by step. Let's talk about product research. As you know, we always use Dropship.io. That is our tool. They also immensely improved as well their app, and we always
features. They have a lot new features.
insane new features. But I want to ask you, like, in what type of way do we usually do like market research? And because from what I see, what we always do, and I like to do it as well in that particular way, is doing more competitor research than really product research, right?
Yeah. Farouk actually did the call in terms of Dropship.io with our PR team, so they get to know how the new features of Dropship.io works. And I'm telling you, the new features on Dropship.io is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, we have found so many good competitors out of worldwide, different markets from US to Europe, Australia, UK, so many, even like South American stores, which are insanely interesting to take out products from and test in EU or US or Big 5. Like Big 5 is a mix of US and all the other English European countries. So very interesting. And my brother did the call with our PR team.
So like in what way do we currently like find winning products, not only with Dropship.io, but also with the Facebook Ads library, right?
Exactly, yeah. What we do, like we mostly use Dropship.io, I would say for 80% to just find good competitors. And when we found the good competitors, we follow them up and add them to our competitors track sheet. And what we do in our competitors track sheet, we literally stalk every competitor every day, and we look at, all right, what new products are they testing, or which new collections are they testing? What is their creative approach? Yeah, so we can get to see, all right, what's going on in that market, which will help us boost our sales in the same stores in the same markets. And the best thing in this situation, why you want to do this, you want to like kind of take stores out of every market there is. With market, I mean country. This way you can see like which countries are performing good, and you have blueprints of competitors performing good in these markets, so you can copy paste them and take these over. And for the record, you don't always have to think like, all right, I'm active in the Dutch market, then I only can copy paste a Dutch competitor. No, it works very good if you even copy paste a South American competitor, which is in the same weather season as you, and put it on your Dutch store, and it will still be good. But that's one side, and the other side, besides like that you can find a lot of good competitors on dropship.io, you can also find a lot of interesting products with very good creatives, because that's also included in the tool, and that's insane. So you can also like immediately, besides you put products into your competitor list, you can also take over and copy paste creatives and get new products and immediately quoted by your supplier.
And also one of the ways why we managed to do 475K in February with one of our stores is because we tested, I believe, 50% old products and 50% also new products. So what we've seen is that your product research sheet is like digital real estate. Now, what does it mean? It's all the products we tested over the years. We never disregarded them. So we still, year after year after year, we still test them. Just because you sold them last year, do you think it means you can never sell it again? Of course you can. It all just happens with seasons. So that's why all the products that you have in your sheet right now, and even your competitors, don't remove or delete these sheets. These are very important. One of our big winners, even right now, is a product that we used to sell 3 years ago a lot. And now it's like one of our best winners. So that's why at some point, you don't even need to do insane product research anymore, because with dropshipping, it's most of the times people just sell the same products every single time. What did we do? Because we still have the same combination of the product combined with the creative, combined with the product page, and the whole angles, in order for us to know and understand, okay, this campaign is going to perform and is going to make us money in this month of the year, every single year. So this is very important. And guys, I want to say as well, if you want to have a 1.5 hour in-depth product research video live training that we always have in our coaching group, right? So because we do group calls also in there, just DM me the word market on Instagram at ecomlegend. You can see it in here, and I will send it to you over for free. And it's going to be very helpful for all of you. I'm pretty sure about that, you know, because I can't cover that for fully in this video because it's a case study, obviously. So I want to ask you, how did we source all of these products? Because we are testing 7 products a day. How does this work in terms of the supply chain with fashion? How do we make sure that we still have like good quality, and how do we source all of this?
Good question. Fashion is very sensitive in terms of, in fashion products, you have a lot of SKUs. Like you have different sizes, different colors. So it's very hard for a supplier to stick up with that when you're scaling a specific fashion product. So it can be possible when you're scaling a dress that has like 9 different colors and 7 different sizes, that it will be hard for a supplier to stick up with that. Because you should always imagine your suppliers like a middleman operating for you between a lot of different factories, because every product that you're selling has a different factory most of the time. Of course, like there are a lot of factories that are producing a lot of different items at the same time, but your supplier is handling and operating with a lot of different factories, which means, for example, let's say you have product A and it hits 3 ROAS in the first day, the second day, also very consistent. On your third day, what we always do, you want to do the quality checks. And you never want to scale before you do the quality checks. Now, our supplier is very professional in that, because they know exactly what they need to do. We've been working with them for almost 3 years now, 2.5 years right now. So they all have the SOPs that you want to have as a general fashion dropshipper. Because, let me tell you this, when you're going to scale a fashion product without doing the quality checks and you scale it insanely fast, which can happen on Facebook, you can get into big problems. Yeah, because you don't want to end up having around like 5 to 10K done in ad spend, generated a lot of revenue with 3 ROAS, let's say 10K in spend, 30K in revenue. Yeah, and there's a stock issue or there is a delay in production.
Keep this in check.
Keep this in check, because you don't want to get in this situation, because it can be easily possible that you scale a product without doing these quality checks that are necessary to be done before scaling, that you'll be losing a lot of refunds and you eventually end up even losing money because of just one small detail. So you don't want to delay these kind of things for your customers, because at the end, when the customer requests for a refund or anything else, you're responsible of that.
Yes, I agree. And we work right now with AstroShip. So if you want to work as well with AstroShip, check the link in the description. So what you're going to do if you want to work with AstroShip, you will end up in a Discord, as you can see in here. So what happens is you click on work with us, and then you open the ticket. And once you open the ticket, you will be in touch with one of the suppliers of AstroShip, or like one of the agents, of AstroShip. And you just tell them like, hey, I want to have good fulfillment from you. Please help me out. And then they will help you out. And of course, also for everybody in here, for payment processing issues, you can also work with AstroShip. They can also help you out, but we will also dive into that later into this video, because I'm gonna as well drop some payment processing golden nuggets also in here together with my brother. And next thing is, of course, we used Facebook ads, obviously. Now, how did we do it? And so now the next step, advertising. I'm gonna ask my brother, how did we advertise? How did we test our products? How did we scale our products? What was our creative game of process? Let's go in depth.
All right, what you can see in front of you, this is our ads manager. And in our ads manager, you can see all the different details. I'm not going to explain what all the columns mean, but what you eventually can see all the way below is you can see 71K in spend. And here we can see the month, February 2025. It's for the whole month. For the record, this is one of the 3 ad accounts for where we have done in total 475.
Why do we have 3 ad accounts, if I may ask?
Yeah, we have 3 ad accounts because we use one ad account for only collections and the other 2 for one product pages. And actually one of them was backup as well, but we eventually started to go live there as well because we wanted to expand our operations. But what you can see over here, this is the one product pages ad account, but this also has some campaigns of collections mixed up as well. What I can tell you in advance, the most above ones are also collection ads. And what I can tell you in advance, you maybe be thinking, right, with, hey, I see 2.5 ROAS, 2 ROAS, our break-even ROAS are low. We have high pricing points, low break-even ROASs. Why we have that? The AOVs on Facebook needs to be high, especially when you're in the big 5 markets. Your cost per click is very low. It's very expensive to generate just one click, to say it simple. Yeah, which means that you need to get the most out of every click. How can you get the most out of every click? By increasing your AOV, because the cost per clicks are expensive. When the cost per clicks are expensive, it means you need to increase your AOV to end up being profitable. And when you increase your AOV on every product, yeah, your break-even ROAS is going to go down. So you cannot compete with a low break-even ROAS in the big 5 markets, which you can do more in the European markets, but not in the big 5 markets. It's a different approach.
This is a big 5 store, by the way, guys.
This is a big 5 store, yeah.
Yeah, it's only big 5. So it's UK, US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand.
Exactly. The big 5 store and this big 5 store. We've always been saying Europe, Europe, Europe. But so far we did most revenues now, almost
Big 5.
Big 5 now.
Big
like,
5, yeah.
like imagine, like, and that within like half a year or something.
Yeah.
The scalability is insane, but the approach is different.
So like, how did this happen where you figured, because it was you who kind of figured out like, hey, yeah, Europe works, but why don't you just test the big 5? Like, how did this switch happen?
I simply felt bad.
Because fashion, normally everybody's like, oh
Yeah.
let's only sell EU, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I actually felt bad, and it was very random. On a day I said like, all right, we're gonna prepare a big 5 store. Boom, we set it up. I've tested like 10 to 20 products and it boom clicked and converted. So it was very random, but the approach was different because I've saw in a very early stage when I run in big 5, I was running big 5 in the beginning with a very high break-even ROAS. I took like the European approach to US. I saw, all right, it clicks, it works, but I need a higher AOV to be profitable because the clicks are just more expensive than Europe. So increased the AOV and we got more profitable, and we managed to scale ads to higher volume with like 2.5, 2.6 ROAS because our break-even ROAS are low. The biggest thing that works the best, which you will see in the ads, are the collection ads. Like the scalability of the collection ads, it's far from being comparable with product page ads. But I can say we're not going to show all the 3 ad accounts, but what I can tell you now is like in February we run like 60% collections and 40% one product pages. But in Q4 and especially like the 93K day, we did like 80% or I think even a bit less. Actually very hard to say these kind of rates, but most of it with collections. With that being said, there is no saying like, all right, you should go for collections or hey, you should only do one product pages. Do both. Look at what works best at that momentum, because there's always some momentum. There's going to be a momentum that one product pages work better than collections, and the same for collections as well, compared one product pages. So it really depends the momentum what you need to be doing. And I use the word momentum a lot because it is up to the momentum if you're going to make money or not. But how can you get in this momentum? By only being consistent every day, testing every day, being active across multiple different markets. That's going to be making you the money so you can catch the momentum.
So you're talking about all this AOV all the time, but we will get into that later, how you can increase AOV and email marketing and that type of shit. But let's first start here in Facebook Ads Manager. How do we test products? Like what's our campaign structure in Facebook and what kind of budgets are we throwing onto testing new products on Facebook?
Very simple. I'm going to only talk about February. Right now when we're recording this video, it's March. We already changed our approach in March, but I'm not going to talk about the approach that we are taking in March because it will have nothing to do with February. So what we did in February for this 475K, we still had the same approach as Q4. What we were doing, just regular CBOs for our one product pages with 4 ad sets. First one broad, second one engage shoppers, third one online shopping, and the fourth one is stack interest. And stack interest are that you want to stack up interests that are product related. These 4. Yes. And each ad set level has 3 different campaigns, sometimes up to 4. And we go from one image ads to college ads. Right? Yeah, exactly.
3 ads per ad set.
Exactly. Yeah, three creatives. So one image ad, a college ad, and a carousel ad. Like very easy. Is
it like copy paste from competitor, or like in what way is our creative process like in detail right now?
Yeah, and good question. We don't one-on-one copy paste that much anymore because we simply saw like it doesn't work and.
The game has changed.
The game has been changed. Like it still works, yeah, but it got harder. Yeah, it got harder. And like the best thing that works for us is adding complementary products through AliExpress, but still you need to have track of competitor URLs because you still want a one-on-one copy paste. So I would still say like even though we're doing and we had a lot of success with AliExpress product research, like the competitor stalking product research is still the best because the one-on-one still works, but it's like 50-50 now what we're doing and you need both of them. But when you're adding like a new product which no one else is selling, you can see a difference in like a lower CPM or anything. But a proof of concept still works best, I must say, because just did some thinking while I was talking as well, because the best performing one product page products are still the ones that we copy paste from our competitors, because we also copy paste like all the creatives as far as we can, but when we have a product that we want to test from AliExpress, we create them all by ourselves, by one image ad, college ad, and carousel ad.
Interesting.
So we still do the one-on-one copy paste.
So let me ask you this: in what way do we then, for example, kill and scale? Like what kind of metrics do you look at? Let's say you tested $50 a CBO with 4 ad sets. When do you, because we test like 7 to 10 products every single day, but when do you decide to kill a campaign and when do you decide to let it run, or maybe even double the budget, or like with how much percentage of budget do you scale the campaign, and what metrics do you look at?
Oh, very detailed question. Like 100 questions in one question.
You everything. Come on, bro.
It's so detailed, guys, that you should know this. Like it's very, very unseen what we're also doing here. Like we're revealing everything. Yeah. But I must say there are still some things.
You can do it. Drop it. Drop it. You should drop it. Why not?
Anytime. All right. What we do, and this is actually not even like very, very magic what I'm going to say about killing, but scaling is magic. The killing is very simple. We are bulk testing. So on a daily basis, we test a lot of different new one product page ads, new college ads. And what we do, we kill fast and scale faster. And what I mean with that, when we notice after 10 USD of spent and we get like 2-3 clicks, we already kill it. Because it's not going to make a difference if we let it run till 20 USD of spent or 25 USD of spent. It's no difference. And the budget, we're testing campaigns, by the way, 51.77 or 52.77. Don't ask me why we have these kind of weird budgets, but that's the budgets. And in terms of, if we notice it has good clicks, so let's say, for example, 10 USD of spend and you have like 7 or 8 clicks in Big 5, which is good. And it also depends the markets, right? If you're in any other European country like France or Italy, clicks like 10 USD spent, 7 clicks is very bad. But in the Big 5, if you have 10 USD spent, 7 or 8 clicks, it's good. You're doing a good job. Let it run till like 25 USD of spent and see how it goes then. And if you don't have any sale after 25 USD of spent, which is 50% of your testing budget, then kill it. That's a different thing. But that's about the killing part. And in terms of the scaling part, it's really random. There's one time, like let's say we have 3 ROAS on a product after 50 USD of spend. Sometimes we duplicate the budget like 3 times, 4 times. We can go from 50 to 300 or like 100 to 500. We scale very aggressive. And you may be thinking like, hey Fatih, why that aggressive? This is something I won't advise for the beginners. As a beginner, you want to go more safe, go from 50 to 100 or from 50 to 200. Don't cross the 200 when you're in the beginner stage, but when you're in a further stage, you can go more aggressive. And the reason why we're actually going more aggressive, like from 50 to 300 or 400 or 500, is because we're in Big 5. The audience size is insane. It's very huge. It's unmatched compared to like Europe. So the scalability is far more. Like you can go to higher budgets of scaling and the performance will be way more consistent. So that's a very big advantage of Big 5. But I must say, if you're going to look at like the win rates in Big 5, it's lower than Europe.
Way lower, yeah.
Yeah, like in Europe, you can get winners way easier, but the scalability is far from being comparable with Big 5. But in Big 5, it's harder to get winners. But when you got the winner and it clicks, converts, it's crazy. You can do crazy.
In terms of scaling, what we can show you guys, for example, is here we launched a product on the 4th of February.
Yeah, and by the way, for the record, for everyone,
you know, like you can explain this also.
Yeah, for the record, the ROASs are not all the way correct, and especially in the month February, because we've had some pixel issues there as well.
And what do we use right now?
WeTracked.
Shout out to WeTracked.
That fixed everything, by the way. So
shout out to the guys on
crazy.
WeTracked, man.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
man. Amazing pixel tracking app.
Yeah, it made a big difference. So in the next case study, you'll see a way more accurate tracking of the sales. But what you see here, it's not 100, far from 100%.
And guys, I can also just say in all honesty, you can now see as well, like in the link in the description, there's an affiliate link to WeTracked. I mean, yeah, like we drop so much sauce. At least if you're gonna use WeTracked, which we obviously use ourselves, do it as well, like through our links, so we also make some extra money. You know, I can keep on making these videos. Why not? I mean, I don't know. It's not going to change so much in our lives, to be honest, but I mean, why not? You know, let us also make more money. And by the way, if you use the link, you will get a 10% discount for the upcoming 3 months. So use that link. Anyway, back to the video.
Exactly. So what you can see here, yeah, it's 4th of February. I think what you're trying to say is like how we scale it, right? How we go from this day to the next day.
You know?
It's hard to say because like the budgets you see here, these are the budgets that are currently set for today, and today it's the 7th, it's in March. But what I can say here is, for example, you can see 163 in spent, 163 USD 0.62 in spent. It's hard for me to say what the budget was the day before, but we can check, for example, here at the 3rd, it was...
It's like nothing, bro. $10.
No, this is not correct.
No.
Let me see. Oh yeah, it can be correct because we went back on a later moment actually.
Yeah,
this can be correct.
You had another ad account that went down and then you start spending here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
By the way, there's one thing we actually forgot to say, and we actually supposed to say this in the beginning of the call. There was Chinese New Year in February.
Yep.
That's why we actually also dropped in February to 475K from doing like 93K in one day at that store. That's the drop. And that's why you'll also most likely see in February that the ads are not really consistent. And you can see here from the 3rd to 4th February, we went from 10 USD spent to 300 because we prepared stock.
Yes.
That's the difference. By the way, you may be thinking, hey, why did you prepare stock for a general fashion dropshipping store? We still regret that. It was a lot of headache in terms of the colors, sizes, preparing the stock, putting credit there. We paid a lot in advance to still scale it.
Like over 6 figures, by the way.
It was a mess, yes, and but it eventually worked out good, but it's not worth the headache.
No.
It was a lot of headache. So for a general fashion dropshipping store, do not go for preparing any stock. It's a big headache. In terms of how we scale it, you can, for example, see here on 4th of February, we spent 163.62, and then you can see we went to 105 USD. All right, you may be thinking, hey, Fatih, but you dropped budget even though you had a very good ROAS. We dropped the budget due to Chinese New Year. We had to do stock managing because it was still Chinese New Year and there was a lot of producing time. I think at this point we were at a point where we were still selling the products, but we were hitting a limit because we prepared stock and most factories opened up around like 10 to 14 February. So we had to be very careful. We had way less stock, so we had to reduce the volume. So I think this is not even a very good example. But if we look back at like 19th of February, maybe I can catch up something which is more interesting. Here you can see 1.7K in spend. And if you're going to look at 20 years, we went to still 1.7K. So I didn't touch it. But the second one, we did scale. If you look at back, like if you're going to go to from the 19th, also the same budget. Yeah, I must say in February we didn't go very crazy in terms of scaling, and this actually all has to do with Chinese New Year. We were very conscious, controlled actually, and that's good.
We have to.
We had times that we were going way more aggressive because if you look at the ROAS, you can scale this insanely, especially when you look at, for example, this campaign has done 505 USD in spend with 749 clicks. And having 3.5 ROAS.
We could have went so much harder on this.
This could go crazy.
Yeah.
But we didn't do it.
Bro, we could put like a 5K budget on the motherfucker, bro. We didn't do it.
We could go very crazy. And you can see I'm very controlled here. And you can also see in the Shopify dashboard that we have a drop of 32% in our revenue in February because it's Chinese New Year. Yeah. We were controlled, but and that's very important because I know like if we went very crazy in this situation and doubled the budget 3 times, 4 times, we could get very big supply chain issues. So at the end, we eventually did very good. We were still able to get things sourced, especially because we prepared stock. And that's also the reason that we had very less ads on.
Hey, by the way, we didn't run any closure sales even on the store.
No.
Because people people are still like a lot of the questions we get is from closure sales. We obviously also talked about it in also other videos, but we actually stopped with it. And my brother can explain as well very well why. Yeah,
we had closure sales and it went very good. Right, I'm not gonna say it's bad. It performs good.
If you do it ethically, it's a good marketing strategy. But
it's a very good marketing strategy. But we put it off because of 2 reasons. First reason is because Facebook was rejecting our ads at some point, so we put it off. And when we put it off, we saw like there is completely no difference. Yeah. The performance was still good. Performance was still good. Of course, we had the high discounts. Yeah. But we just deleted the closure sale tags and it was still good. So there is no such thing that you need to get a very crazy approach on having closure sales. It's not a must. Bro, you can go without it as well.
People are crazy, man. They put an ad of that their shop has burned down and stuff on Facebook.
People go too far.
I saw one picture. Somebody is like cut his leg and said, "Oh, I'm gonna die. There's I'm gonna die. Please buy from me." Like, bro, come on, bro. It's too much, bro.
It's too crazy. Yeah.
Don't do that shit.
Exactly. You don't need it. And at the end, it's the product. And the moment you launch the product and the creatives, your product page, everything, that combination is adding more value or increasing the chance more to generate a sale than these closure sale methods or reopening sales or anything else.
Now guys, we talked about Facebook ads a lot. You might thought this video ended because we showed Facebook ads. No, it didn't. You know why? Because now we're going to be talking about team building. Now, Tell me, brother, how does our team look like right now? How many team members do we have in our e-commerce company, and how is it structured?
Actually, hard to say how many team members we have. I'm not even exactly sure, but I think between 20 and 25 team members. We used to have even more, but we cut a lot of people. How our team is structured, we have a front end and we have a back end. And in the front end, we have our operations in terms of product importing, product research, the ads. We have the product listing, the drive sheets and everything, how we put in the products in place. And in the back end, we have our customer support, which is doing like email management, dispute management and everything. And I always say in the front end, we make the money, and in the back end, we protect our money. And you may be thinking like, hey, what do you mean with that? Yeah, it's easy to make the money, always. Yeah, but with fashion, it's very sensitive that you're gonna get refunds. Your customers will get the wrong sizes, or they're not happy with the material, product, or anything else. Then the revenue you did here in the front end, it can be escalated to your back end with a complaint of the customer. And it's the work from the customer support, and the customer support is responsible for making sure that every case we get in terms of refunds, complaints, everything, it gets resolved with a happy customer by doing as less refunds as possible. I'm gonna tell you in advance, it's very easy to make the money in the front end, but it's hard to protect your money in the back end. And most dropshippers, I would even say 95 to 99% of the dropshippers, they mess it up in the back end.
Oh, I did the main revenue, okay, but what's your real profit, bro?
What's your refund?
20%.
Percentage?
Okay, but what is it after a few months? They don't even know it, bro.
They don't know it.
They don't know it.
I always say you can make 100 USD to keep it simple profit today, but that 100 USD in profit you made today, it's not going to be the same as 2 months later, because the compound is going to hit. The customers that ordered at that day, they're going to open cases, up to cases, and you're going to lose money. And if you don't take it care of the right way, you'll be losing a lot in refunds. And what I mean with the refunds are actually all the partial refunds we do to customers, the full refunds we do to customers, the chargebacks we get from our payment processors, the dispute fees we get to pay, the chargeback fees, all the fees, and everything combined is your refund. I call it the total refunds. And for us, right now with fashion, you'll maybe be saying like, hey, how then? It's between 5 and 5.5%. That's the total refunds, which means we always have an estimation that we lose around 5% of the money on the revenue every day. That's our estimation, what we lose. So if we have a profit margin of like 20%, I know, all right, our margin will be around net margin 15% after refunds. Yeah. And this detail is very important. If you forget about this, you're never going to see the cash of your dropshipping business. It's a small detail, but it's a game-changing detail. I don't even think it's a small detail. It's a very important detail you got to be aware of. But we in the beginning years forgot about this, and there was no one telling us, hey, Fatih, Faruk, are you sticking up with your backend?
Nobody understood.
And we were making mistakes, missing a lot of money. We were ending up like 9%, 10% in refunds, losing a lot of money.
Look, guys, let me tell you something. There's people who do, let's say, dropshipping the way we also do it, or even general dropshipping, and they do in a very, they do 200K in a month, and then 600K, and then again 100K, and then 2-3 months, it's shit. It's back and forth, boom, boom, boom. It's just chaos. Why? Because they start scaling high, and then everything in the back end, it goes to totally shit. Late deliveries, bad quality, payment processor holds, PayPal, Klarna, I don't know, credit cards, all types of bullshit. But if you're gonna look to one of our latest videos, which was how we made $4.5 million last Q4, you will see that our profit in there was 600K. And if you're gonna look to our older videos, you will see that consistently we can do the revenue. Why? Because as my brother said, we make money on the front end and we keep them through our back end. And that's how we keep it alive. And even though, yes, our profit margins are the highest, right? If you make over $4.5 million in a month in revenue and your profit is 600K, what is it, 12, 13%? Then people might be saying, oh yeah, Faruk, but yeah, bro, I do 25%. Okay, buddy, but did you make over 600K profit in last Q4? I don't think so. I don't think a lot of people, like, don't get me wrong, that are watching right now have made that amount of money And that is just because of the principles that we just learned throughout the years that helped us so much. And look, this is not a flex or something. Like my brother and I, we lost in 2021 over 500K, and only like a few, and only like even more, like just like almost like 600K over like a few weeks of time. So it took us a lot of money to lose in order to understand how important the back end is. Now, so we go through here, right? We have the front end and the back end, around 20-25 people, but most people we have are people from our back end, right? How many people do we have in our back end, and how is our back end structured? Because that is what you mainly did in this particular case.
Yeah, how our backend is structured, we have two departments in our backend. We have one manager, it's the backend manager. Then we have a dispute department and a email support department, which means the dispute department is taking care of resolving cases with the customers, and we get the disputes on PayPal, on credit card platforms, on different places actually. And for the email, we take care of the emails in our fresh desk. So we get on daily basis new tickets from customers. So these two departments are working separate, but they both come together because they both do the same thing, and that's making sure our refunds stay as low as possible and the customers leave with a smile in our dropshipping stores.
Yeah.
And eventually that's the thing you want to accomplish, because even though you'll be thinking like, hey Fatih, how are the customers going to get a smile? You still have to provide the good service. And it is possible to give the customers a smile, because even though it maybe sounds crazy, but we give partial refunds to customers very easy.
Yes.
And why?
Relax refund system.
Very easy, yeah. And the reason of that is because we want to make sure our payment processor stays solid. Because if you're not going to be genuine to customers giving partial refunds or when needed a full refund, your payment process is going to go down. Your dispute rate will go through the roof and it will eventually shut down. So you could better resolve a case by doing a partial refund, by making sure it doesn't escalate to a dispute or a chargeback, compared to being too strict, which is causing a dispute or a chargeback. So these are very, very important details that's very game-changing to keep your PayPal and your credit card payment processor alive.
And guys, by the way, I wanted to say as well, for those that don't really understand what we're talking about, maybe it's too high level for some people watching, I recommend you to watch my free course. It's 6 hours on YouTube. Just check here as well, the link above here. Otherwise, check also in the description. I will make sure to also put it down there. And I explain in that video from A to Z how to start your first Shopify dropshipping store, and then even to scaling to your first 500K month. It's all on YouTube for totally free. It went completely viral. It has over 150K views already, by the time I'm making this video. If you're watching this, it's probably already even higher. So let me ask you, so what is, for example, you talk about payment processing also, and I also know that we also work with chargeback.io. And so you guys know that's a chargeback mitigation software. Why are we working with chargeback.io, and why do you think it's so important?
Chargeback.io is literally the reason why our credit card providers stay alive on high scale. Because what's going to happen? The moment you're going to scale your fashion store to a higher volume, your chargeback rate is going to increase, and you won't be able to control your chargeback rate through email support or anything, because you should understand, for chargebacks, there is no dispute situation. Yeah, there is no dispute situation like PayPal or that's it. Actually, only in PayPal you get the disputes, so you can resolve them of not getting escalated to a claim or a chargeback. But on credit card payment providers, when the customer already opens their app or they call the bank, it's an immediate chargeback. And the moment it's a chargeback, you already got the funds deducted and your chargeback rate increased. And the moment you hit, on average, like I would say, a chargeback rate above 1.5 or 2, your credit card provider is gonna go down. And that's the last thing you wanna have, because when your credit card provider goes down, you won't have any business anymore. Your business will go down because you want to collect the money. And especially in the big 5 stores where credit card is very sensitive and the customers are very experienced on opening up chargebacks on card payments, you want to have, I would even say it's a must to have a chargeback prevent tool. And we've been using chargeback.io for like how many months now?
Over half a year, bro.
Over 6 months now, for a very long period. Yeah, and our credit card provider didn't go down. It's still alive. We're preventing chargebacks. Yeah. Because we're preventing chargebacks and bringing in high volume and it's going all solid, we've even managed to build a better relationship with our credit card provider. Yeah, which is giving us lower fees now, and
Yeah.
it's so game changing. And it's a must-have you want to have because it's very game-changing. What happens in chargeback.io, the moment you install it on Shopify, you connect your billing descriptors and some other details as well, and then you're good to go, and you'll be able to...
And guys, I opened it here on my laptop, but for some reason it's in Dutch because I'm right now in the Netherlands, obviously. So, but yeah, like just go to chargeback.io, you can check them out. And yeah, we use them, it's amazing. So recommend it, guys. So the next thing, and by the way, it's also in the description, you can check it out. So next thing, payment processing solutions for high-level people.
The game-changing.
What can you talk about that particular part? Well, what I do want to say, what I can say at first is, my brother's going to talk about payment processing in depth, but if you're going to be interested in that, just send me a DM on Instagram at ecomlegend, you know the drill. But please explain about how payment processing for high-level e-com is going and why it's so important.
On high level, and I would even say also on lower level, but it's always an important thing. But on higher level, it's a way more important thing, because the moment you're on high level and you're doing a high revenue, let's say you're doing on a daily basis, like hitting up 100K days or like 50K plus days, you got your team all set up on that revenue level. And imagine a day later, boom, your PayPal shuts down or your credit card shuts down, and you have such a big team, everything is rolling, your whole team is used to work every day, but then boom, everything got shut down. The last thing you want to have is a team that's not able to work and a business that's really stopped because of this. It's very painful, because I'm telling you, we've had this, and the last time we've had this was before we were actually starting to use our own payment processing. Yep. So you don't want to have it. Like, people are going to leave your team, there won't be any work. And I'm telling you, the moment your payment processes are down, it's very hard to get up again into the level that you used to be doing, because you always want to keep on growing and expanding your team based on your revenue level. And for that, a good payment processor is acquired. Otherwise, you will never be able to go to these kind of solid numbers. Now, I'm telling you in advance, this is the game-changing factor why we're actually able to go to these kind of numbers consistently.
Guys, in all honesty, obviously it's not free if you want these payment processors, right? I'm just gonna be very upfront with you guys. You guys know it, I'm always transparent, open. Even if I recommend a particular app, do I have an affiliate link? Do I make money on it, right? I'm always very transparent in it. But yeah, payment processing is just something you gotta invest your money in. It's a game changer. It's been also for us, you know? And guys, by the way, put some W's here in the chat, in the comments here for my brother, man. He's been spitting value, bro.
Love to do this.
What the hell, bro? Come on, bro. Insane.
Anytime.
So yeah, that was really interesting. But I want to circle back a little bit more as well to the front end a bit, and which is about, you said something interesting about after sale and email marketing and how we manage to scale so hard in the big 5 market. What is after sale? After that, we will talk about email marketing.
After-sell is a post-purchase upsell tool in your store. It's integrated, so when someone checks out, they will get into a upsell where they can buy either the same product for a lower price on their second piece, or they get into a collection.
Post-purchase upsell app, guys.
Exactly, it's a post-purchase upsell, or they get into a collection where they can purchase any other complementary products. This is a must-have. No, it's good. So this is a very must-have that you want to have. It's very game-changing because the margins are in these kind of tools. Really, I'm telling you, because it's hard to only make it profitable with meta ads, you definitely need post-purchase upsell and an email marketing. But besides after-sell, you can also use Sweet Upsell. It's also good. It really depends, like the payment processor you're using, which fits best for them. We use both of them, so it's all good. In terms of email marketing...
But wait, in after-sell, how do you structure it?
Drop
the sauce, bro. What do we
do?
The
detailed sauce.
We have a deal. We have a whole like flow, you know, to scheme that type of stuff, bro. To get the AOV high, you know. Tell them.
Important detail.
This is the thing that
my
they're
brothers,
watching.
You know, the thing is, like, I'm always kind of sometimes holding back. My brother's pushing me into the detail. Yeah. So after sell, what we do, we have 3 different funnels.
Like this, we normally only like share in the mentorship. You guys know we have a mentorship, right? We charge some good money for it, but we help people scale insanely there. And my brother is more laid back. He only talks about the mentorship, but this is the type of stuff, some small things, I'm like, I want to share it on YouTube, you know. So
there's still so much that we...
Yeah, there's too much in the mentorship actually that we're not sharing here, but whatever. But this is one small thing we can I'm like, bro, please share it. So go ahead.
But you know what the thing is? People don't get it wrong. Like we have so many people in the mentorship, and it will be disrespect to all of them that are in the community to share like all the details.
But we can do a small, a little bit, you know, so why not?
So for all the people that are looking and not in the mentorship, do not get me wrong that we're not getting into like all the detailed stuff. Because it will be very disrespectful for all the people that are in our community, in our mentorship. So thanks for this. Yeah. The detail of after sale, what you should know. We have 3 types of funnel. In the first funnel, when the customer checks out, but we have different stages. We either put them in a upsell where they can buy the same product with 15% off, or we put them immediately in a complimentary collection upsell where they can buy another product with also 50% off. And when they don't agree on the first funnel, they get into a downsell, which means, downsell, they get the same offer but more percentage off. So they go from 50% to 25% off in the second funnel. And when they check out there, it's actually done. So there are 2 funnels, but on some stores, we even have a third funnel, I remember. So when they even checked out on the first funnel, which is 1 product, they get after checking out even again in a collection ad where they can buy so many different complementary products. And it's kind of similar with Sweet Upsell.
Interesting. So it's like 3 different funnels, and how much percentage are you giving away in the first, second, and third, like flow?
Yeah, we're split testing a lot. So like on store A, we do 15%, store B, 20%. We're testing a lot, finding sweet spots. But what I can say, first funnel, 15%, the second funnel, we give 25%, which is a downsell. So I would say, 15 to 25%.
And why this is so important, guys, because we will also speak about email marketing in a bit, is because if you can already spend $5 more per acquisition of a client from somebody that buys a product from you, you can already outcompete everybody, and on a scale you can make like more than 6 figures profit in a month. And there's so many people advertising right now, whether it's dropshipping, fashion, or something else. And if you can spend $5 more because you have this after sell, this post-purchase upsell flows into connected in your store, like it's just a game changer. But also for guys, for email marketing, you can also explain what we're doing, right? And who we also work with. And why?
Yeah, for email marketing, we work together with EconFlows.
Shout out to EconFlows, man. Yep. And guys, like I'm very transparent also. Yes, I will also put the link in the description here. They are also one of our partners. They are amazing. Yes, if you're going to apply through them, I will get a small commission because you applied through me. But in all honesty, you can ask them also. We have been working with them for a long time. And if you're gonna ask me, Faruk, like what type of emails we use, what is making the most money, like we don't even know, bro. We just let them do the job. We see we make at least 10 to 15%, or even like how much percentage like we make with email marketing, extra on the revenue?
Around 20% extra. It's crazy, by the way. 20 to sometimes 30%,
It's the only thing we know that we make the amount of like more with emails. Besides that, we have no idea how they do it. And I'm genuinely not interested as well too much into it because we just gotta focus on other type of stuff and delegating and making the right moves in the business. Right now, it's not the time to go into the trenches all the time and work insanely. It's about, it's really in our situation about making the smart moves. If you're a beginner, you go from your first 0 to 100K profit in your life, I would really recommend you guys to go into the trenches and find out about like most stuff and just execute as much as possible as well from the value you see in our videos. Check the free course, check out this case study over and over again, make notes. It's going to be a game changer for you. So yeah, we work EcoFlows, and if you want to work with them, you can apply through the link below and also in the description. So next thing I want to say as well, guys, yes, my brother and I, we are running a mentorship now over 1.5 years right now. We helped hundreds of students in the game also. I've showed as well multiple times all the results we have as well in our program. People scaling to 500K a month, people scaling to 800K, over $1 million a month. Omet, for example, he's the head coach in our program. He does over $1 million a month consistently in our program, and he's doing group calls. We do, by the way, 7 group calls a week, guys. So if you're really serious about scaling as well, your e-com business, join the program. It's an amazing community, and if not, keep on watching our videos. You know, we love to give value anyway, so why not? Anyway, after this, I want to as well ask my brother, because this is more of a personal question. How do you and me work together? And how did you manage to do over 25 mil? And how did we do like everything, because a lot of people who are watching, you maybe also have a brother or a sister, or you have some family members you would love to do business with, and maybe you are doing business with them. But the question is, how did we do this so efficiently in the last 6 years?
Put on straight responsibilities to each other. So I would say what me and my brother did, and which really made it game changing, is literally like sit down with your brother, look at all the fundamentals, and spread the fundamentals between each other. Like, for example, I'm taking more care of the back end, my brother does more things in the front end, and we're making each other stronger. So we're overseeing each other's work, giving each other feedback. It's very important. And there's like my brother's saying it many times, there's a thin line between doing business with your brother. It's very hard to stay between the line sometimes, but at the end, it's family, and you know where you do it for. If I have a bad day, I know my brother will have a good day. If my brother has a bad day, I will have a good day. And that's how we keep it strong. I really respect and I love to see brothers doing business with each other, because it's very rare. Like we've heard so many stories that people are going down and the whole family is going apart because brothers were not able to do business together, or a family business going apart. It's very hard to keep it strong, but when you're able to keep it good, it's going to be so game changing.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, for real. So this is really something that's very important. And guys, I do want to say as well, if you still have any questions for us, please ask them as well here, like in the comment section. I do want to say as well, if you still have any questions for me, of course, just go to my Instagram, ecomlegend. Don't put the questions here on my YouTube channel. I understand why you do it, but to be honest, on YouTube, like I get so many comments. I can't see them all the time. Like I have so much social media stuff right now, and I'm quite dialed in on my work. And then in the evenings, I open my Instagram, I go through my DMs a little bit. So if you have any questions, just ask me there. That's the most important thing. But guys, before we end this video, I want to ask my brother as well as a last very important question. What do you think is the biggest reason why we managed to do 4.5 million in Q4, and now again we do still consistently a million a month with our stores? What are we doing differently compared to most dropshippers?
I would say I'm going to mention a front-end approach, which we did different, and a back-end approach, which we did different. In the front-end, we decided like around Q3, we said like, all right, we're going to open up stores everywhere in Europe. And at the end of Q3, we entered Big 5. And I would say Big 5 is the most game-changing market for us, which changed all the things. But at the same time, we still run Europe. But what happened? The moment we diversified, opened up store everywhere and tested products everywhere, we managed to see which markets worked best. This made it possible for us to be active in the right market at the right momentums. Yeah. And also we were surrounded by killers as well in our group, everywhere. So we always know which markets works best. There is literally no excuse. We're active everywhere. We know which markets works best. The moment we see, Germany doing good, boom, second German store. Or boom, we're testing 5 products per day at that moment in Germany, we go to 10, or to 15. We scale it up very quick. And our team is strong enough to handle these kind of scales, where we'll decide to go, all right, we're going to duplicate the store, or we're going to duplicate the daily volume we're testing on that store. That's one big change we did in the front end. And of course, the Big 5 was very game changing as well. Even though we're active in a lot of more Europe stores, when we entered Big 5, it somehow, boom, clicked. And it was also crazy. But I would say it was also a very change for us as well that we started collection ads, because what we started to do more is, all right, we have a collection of sweaters. How are we gonna make that work?
You remember, like in the video, like half an hour ago maybe, like you were talking about collection pages. I said you will go like later down more deep into it. So
that's also the thing, right?
The collection pages, tell them.
Like besides the always one product pages we used to be testing till Q3 2024, we managed and we entered more the collection ad side. So we're going like 50-50. So what happened at some point, like while we were only focused on one product pages, we decided we turned our focus also more on, all right, how can we make a collection page work? What's a good collection page setup? Which type of craze works good for that collection page? How can we scale the collection page? What offer do we need to do in the collection page to make it click and work? So when we focus more on that and we crack the code on how we can make how we can make sure we can make collection ads work that's actually the moment we scaled even more, especially in Big Five. That was the most game-changing thing. Now, I must say, there's a whole creative game behind it. There's a whole front-end process behind it in terms of setting up the collection ads. But the collection ads are very, very simple. We have like a collection image, or sometimes only a text with a bundle discounts in the collections.
Always bundle discounts.
Always bundle discounts. That works. And then you have the products filtered on best selling, and that works the best time.
So like, how many products do you have per collection page, and how many pages?
It depends. We have collections with 150 products, 100 products. Some collections have 20 products. It really depends.
It's random.
It's random, yeah. But if you have like dresses, we have a lot of dresses. So we have a lot of dresses, or sweaters. We have a lot of sweaters. But if you're gonna go, for example, a watches collection, we have way less. So, but there's one thing you want to do in collections. You want to have only like 25 till 30 products maximum in one page, and then they can click to the next one. Otherwise, the loading time is going to be delay in the loading time for the customers, and that's something you want to avoid. So I would say that's also a big difference. That's the front end. But if you're going to look at the back end, like around Q4, the beginning of Q4, while we were scaling Big Five, we also had the feeling like, hey, there's so much more to get in the back end. Like, imagine you reduce 2 to 3% of your refund rate, which means that your net margin is going to increase 2 to 3%. And it may sound very less, but imagine you do 4.5 million and you manage to reduce your refund rate with 2%. That's so much more cash net profit you'll be making. So focusing more on the back end on how we can resolve this and get to the point to reduce the refund rates made it for us possible to increase our net margin. So I would say that's also a very, very crazy thing, what we did. So, and also very game changing, would make things more profitable.
Supply chain manager, crazy backend manager, dispute manager, a lot of agents in the backend, key.
Everything is key. And I'm always saying this, like, you have all these fundamentals in your general fashion dropshipping business. Make sure you optimize them all, that they're always as good as possible, that you have the right people at the right places. And that's going to be very game changing for you.
Yeah, and in all honesty, guys, finding a winning product is not that special. Maybe if you're as a beginner watching this, you might think, hey, yeah, finding my first winning product, making my first store profitable is very hard. It's gonna happen, believe me. It's gonna happen. You're gonna have it easily, and at some point it's gonna be too easy for you to find winning products. The real challenge is gonna be for you is to continue doing this amount of revenue while still maintaining your payment processor with dropshipping. Even with branding, you're gonna have the same issue. Believe me, it's all the same. It's all the same principles. Whether it's dropshipping or branding, I'm telling you, it's all the same. So let me tell you, like real straight here forward, from your first 0 to 100K revenue, it's all about just focusing on market research, but then scaling to 500K a month, to $1 million a month. Like as my brother said, it's all about just continue to have an amazing backend with dropshipping. Whether you're doing advertising with Facebook or with Google or TikTok, same principles. So yeah, man. Is there something you want to say as last before we stop the video? You know.
That was it. I hope you all will like this video because we went into very, very deep details.
Yeah.
And I would say like this video will be very helpful for you. Either you're on a high level, doing high volume or low volume. It's for all of you and everyone will have the benefits out of it. And as my brother also said multiple times, we have a mentorship and you maybe be thinking like, hey, why are you sharing this much detailed stuff about how you're doing all these revenues? I'm telling you, there is so much more behind it, and there's so many more things going on. It's very game changing, and it's not only knowing how to go to these levels, but you want to surround yourself with the right people and knowing which momentums works best.
Yeah, and guys, in all honesty, like
which markets works best.
If you have this question around yourself, why are these two brothers sharing all this information? Like, listen, this is these YouTube videos are for us is a very nice promotion in order to show what kind of good mentorship you have and what kind of value we can actually offer to people, because the mentorship obviously is more. Second of all, we have, for example, as well, like affiliate links here in the description that also make us money. So yeah, like it's nice making all these content. I definitely enjoy it, but it's also making us money. So yeah, I'm not gonna be pretending here all the time here like, oh, I'm just only doing this for fun, because bro, we are just businessmen, bro, like in all honesty. So I think you guys have also seen that. So yeah, we really enjoyed this. I'm telling you, I like making these videos because I know there's always these TikTok gurus, they make these small videos where they give some value and they flex like their first 100K month. And then, you know, we come in and then boom, we take them here, you know, with the crazy value again, as always. So
matched.
guys, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. And also, if you enjoyed this as well, if you want a part 3, by the way, because this is the second video I have with my brother, you can make here as well a comment. Fatih Legend, man. Put some nice positivity. Come on, you know.
Oh, and guys, listen up. This is Facebook. We are going live on our Google stores. There's so much more coming up. We have so many more stores. There is actually like so much more to share, but show some love.
Yeah, and guys, if you also didn't know, I forgot to say, I have as well a vlog channel. If you type in Faruk Ilkan on YouTube, you can also see it. And I have a new series called Me vs. Me. I already dropped a few episodes, like we bought the Euros, for example, the Lambo, which is also nice, you know, the blue Lambo, the dropshipping Lambo. And you should also watch those series. We drop a bunch of golden nuggets also in there. And yeah, thank you for watching and love. Peace out.